Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is I, your host, Mr. Sean, and today we're going with what you guys like. I did some polls on the channel. I asked, hey, do you like the new look or do you like the classic look? And you all said the classic look, so here I am, the OG classic Hawaiian shirt clip art Mr. Sean. We're also going with, you guys have stated that you like the random lists of 5. I was trying to get away from that kind of content. I thought maybe you were getting bored of it, but apparently it's what you guys like. So today we're doing something that I was like, what kind of list should I do? What should we do here? And I decided on that we're going to do a list I call the top 5 incredible villain performances in awful movies. Because, not all villains are created equal. Sometimes a great actor gives it everything they've got, even if the movie they're in is barely holding itself together with duct tape and bad CGI. And so I thought about it. I'm a big movie fan. I'm like, what are the absolute best villain performances where they're literally the only good thing about this film, from the critical standpoint. Now, I will admit several of these movies I do enjoy, but I enjoy them for the villain, so that's why they're on this list. Even if, I'm admitting they're bad movies, even though I enjoy them. But enough of me. Let's start with number 5. Which number 5? This is my hot take. Number 5 on our list is Mickey Rourke as Ivan Vanko from Iron Man 2.
If you can make God bleed, then people will cease to believe in him. And there will be blood in the water, and the sharks will come.
That line alone is all you need to remember about Mickey Rourke's performance in Iron Man 2. I mean, he's grimy, gold-grilled, and built like a guy who absolutely smells like vodka and motor oil. The movie, it's messy. It's an overstuffed Marvel sequel where half the cast seemed to be sleepwalking. They didn't really think about, I don't think people expected Iron Man to be a success, so they didn't really know where to go with it. And they also were, the entire time in this movie, they were trying to tiptoe around. They wanted to have Iron Man's alcoholism there, but you can't. Disney owns it now. So, they did it weird. Everybody was just kind of phoning it in, but not Mickey. He brings a grudge, a whip, and a strange obsession with exotic pets. Rourke insisted on creating his own backstory for the character, and it shows. There's weird depth beneath all that sneering. He doesn't just want revenge, he wants to make Tony Stark sad. And honestly, respect. Fun fact about this movie, I didn't fully appreciate it when I first saw it in the theater, and only really appreciated it when I rewatched it with my dad on DVD, because my friends who I was going to the film with and we were all carpooling were late, so we actually missed the opening scene, and I didn't quite get that scene where Vanko's father dies and some of that, and it's like it really just, the grudge didn't fully make sense. It seemed kind of just slapped in there, and that just shows you one tiny scene that I missed, due to my friends being, dickholes, meant that I had to wait till the DVD release, which, if you don't remember, guys, if you're younger members of my audience, used to be at least a year after the movie came out. It wasn't like 2 months like it is now, but I had to wait till then to truly appreciate this film. And, again, it's not a good movie, but Mickey Rourke is awesome. All right, guys, next up we have Jim Carrey as Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler, in Batman Forever.
I simply love what you've done with this place. Heavy metal meets house and garden. Ha ha ha!
Now, this isn't a performance. It's a thermonuclear sugar rush. I mean, Jim Carrey doesn't play the Riddler. He becomes him. And while Batman Forever is a neon-soaked fever dream with the emotional depth of a Mountain Dew commercial, Carrey owns every second of screen time. He's bouncing, cackling, posing like a game show host from hell. And sure, it's not the brooding Riddler from the comics, but that really doesn't matter. Carrey isn't playing to canon, he's playing to the back row of a haunted circus tent. In a movie where everyone's fighting to be the most over the top, he honestly wins. Again, I was never into Jim Carrey as much as a lot of other people were. I never really liked Ace Ventura. I've never seen Dumb and Dumber. I mean, I do love some of his roles that I've seen throughout the years, but again, I don't know. I just wasn't a big Jim Carrey guy, but I am a big Riddler fan, and I don't hate Jim Carrey's Riddler portrayal. I like it. I think it's great. I think he has so much fun with the role, and while I do think they wasted Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face in this film by making him zany when Tommy Lee Jones is such a good, serious, gritty actor, I think the casting for the Riddler was perfect for the vibe they were going for. And while everyone else kind of didn't really bring the best, Carrey gave it his all, and I commend him for that. All right, guys, we're moving right along to number 3, and that is Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, specifically in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but nothing will ever kill me.
Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I love a good Freddy movie. I went to the premiere of Freddy vs. Jason and loved every second of it. But the 6th Nightmare on Elm Street film, it's not good. By the time this one came around, the franchise was being held together with, nothing but dreams and duct tape, and not the nightmares that, the series was built on. Just wishful thinking. But Robert Englund, he's still giving it, even 6 movies in, he's given it everything. In Freddy's Dead, the movie basically descends into parody. There's a power glove kill, there's 3D, there's even Looney Tunes sound effects. But through all of it, Englund slices through the camp with charm, menace, and a twinkle in his eye. I mean, again, Freddy has kind of stopped being scary, but here he's a twisted cartoon mascot for chaos, and Englund leans into it with gleeful abandon. Is it scary? No. Is it good? Also no. But is Englund's Freddy performance iconic anyway? Absolutely. I mean, again, sometimes that's one of the things I do love about the series, for all its foibles and flaws, is I get the sense that Robert Englund genuinely enjoyed being Freddy Krueger. And as such, even after the series had long since outlived its welcome, he's still showing up and just giving everything he's got into the performance. And for that, he deserves to be on this list. All right, guys, at number 2, we have a movie that I genuinely love, but even I can admit it's not good. And at number 2, we have Vincent Price as Edward Lionheart in Theater of Blood.
Good day, Mr. Devlin.
Vincent Price, guys, not only is he one of my favorite horror actors, or just actors of all time, I mean, he's a legend. And Theater of Blood is his most deliciously unhinged role. He plays Edward Lionheart, a Shakespearean actor who fakes his own death and murders critics using scenes from classic plays. Yeah, you heard that right. He kills people with Shakespeare. The film itself is an oddball horror comedy with mismatched tones, basically tonal whiplash, low-budget blood, really bizarre pacing, and you never really know if you're supposed to be scared or if you're supposed to be laughing. But Price is giving a masterclass through it all. Every monologue just drips with theatrical venom, and every death is delivered like it's a curtain call. He's not just hamming it up, he's preparing a 7-course feast of vengeance in verse, which is fitting considering Price's own training as a gourmand. I mean, long before horror was elevated, Price made camp feel classy and made murder magnificent. Again, I love this movie. It's not a good movie, but it is a fun movie, and price is what makes it fun. Alright guys, we're going to get into number 1 here in a second, but please, if you haven't already, click that like button. It's a small click for you, but it means a lot to the channel. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, what villain do you think was the best part of a bad movie? Alright guys, let's get to number 1. You might have already guessed it based on my other choices, but here it is. Number 1 on our list, the villain that is the best thing about a terrible movie. Number 1, Raul Julia as General M. Bison in Street Fighter.
All I want to do is to create the perfect genetic soldier. Not for power, not for evil, but for good.
There is no villain performance more gloriously overacted, overdesigned, and over it than Raul Julia's turn as General M. Bison in Street Fighter. This movie is chaos. It's based on a fighting game where nobody fights. The plot makes zero sense, and most of the cast looks like they wandered in from different movies entirely. But Julia? He elevates it. He delivers Shakespearean monologues about world domination like he's in Macbeth. He moves like a stage actor trapped in a Power Rangers episode. I mean, he's charismatic and absolutely in on the joke. And somehow, despite the nonsense that was swirling around him, he never phones it in.
I'm sorry. I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
That's not a line. That's cinematic poetry. This was Raul Julia's final role before his death, and he knew he was dying. In fact, he took this role because his children were huge fans of Street Fighter, and he wanted to be in this to give them one last bit of their father before he passed on. And he gave it everything. The world didn't deserve him, but it sure needed this performance. And that is why it gets the number 1 spot. Because great villains don't need great movies. They just need a spotlight, some scenery to chew, and a good pair of eyebrows. Look, whether they're whispering threats or monologuing like a Bond villain on Broadway, these actors understood the assignment. If I happen to have missed your favorite, let me know in the comments. Maybe we can get a part 2 going for this. Who else would you say stole the show in an otherwise cinematic train wreck? Guys, this is what we're doing. You know, we're making lists, we're doing videos, and I do hope you enjoy it, guys. You know, we're trying to get back to basics, trying to make this channel, I hate to say it, great again, because we've definitely, in the past couple months, we have hit a rough patch. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe, check the links, maybe buy a mini, maybe buy a Call of Cthulhu module, but definitely please, 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 please come back for the next video. I'm Mr. Sean. This is Mr. Sean Productions, and I sincerely hope that you alpha great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye.